I have had my 2021 Tesla Model 3 long range for about 7 months now, and some of the most asked questions I get are about the interior and its quality. I picked the white interior, and many comments have asked me how the white seats are holding up. So today I will address how my Tesla Model 3 interior has held up over the last 7 months. So first, let's talk about storage. So the trunk here is the first piece of the storage, and it is the largest part of the car to put anything that you may need. So the last time that we washed the car, which was a couple days ago, we actually got water inside of the trunk, and we had never gotten that before, but it was pretty substantial. So I really hope that that was just a fluke or something, but it hadn't happened in the past. So I'm not really sure what that was, but it did leak into the trunk. The part of the trunk that we use pretty frequently is actually the sub trunk. It's underneath the main trunk. So we put our grocery bags in here, or rain jackets, or just things that we don't want to forget if we go to the grocery store. So it's super nice to have that extra compartment, but also it's not in the main trunk so that it's not taking up too much space. Overall, the trunk has held up pretty well. We have this mat back here that we've had for a few months, and that has held up awesome. If you're interested in that, I'll link it in the description below. But I mean, otherwise, the trunk has been a really great space to store things, and the material inside has held up well, especially since we've had this mat over top of it. So the next piece is the storage inside of the car. So we have the console here, then we have this space, and then we also have where we put our phones. So let's start with where we put our phones. When I first got the car, it did not charge my iPhone very well. I think because I have the larger size, the Pro, it just didn't charge it at all. So I did get a different case for it, and now it has been charging perfectly. So I haven't had any issues with that, which has been really nice, and it seems to be clean up pretty easily. So even though it is more of like a fabric jewelry box type fabric, it does clean up pretty easily. Then we have this main console area here. So honestly, I'd never use this. We just obviously have some old stuff in here. We have some hand sanitizer, which I do use, but otherwise it's just some stuff, random stuff, because it's not a very useful space. It just kind of is a big hole, and I don't love this part of the car. I wish that they did put some more organization in here, but overall, I mean, I guess if you need to put something bigger in here, then you could probably fit it in the console. Now we have another piece of the console, which is the upper part. This has held up really well. I wasn't sure if this mechanism was going to keep working as smoothly as it has, but honestly, no issues there. It's worked quite well. So you just push it back, and then I have this organizer tray in mine. This is the one I ended up going with, using currently at least. This one's easy to clean. I think that the console organizer is a must, honestly, in the car, because I need to put my sunglasses somewhere, and then a few other things like an extra battery for my camera. And this has just been a must. Otherwise, I don't think I'd use this space either, because it is just a dark hole. So I don't really use it underneath. I just really use this area, and that's about it. I think that the Tesla Model 3 has ample storage for what I need. I wasn't sure if the interior was going to have enough storage, or even the trunk, but over the last 7 months, I haven't had any issues with just being able to have enough space. So now let's talk about floor mats. These are the floor mats that came with the Model 3, and I immediately took them out because I hate carpet floor mats, as I've said before. So these collect hair so fast. I haven't even used these, and they have hair on them, probably from my dogs, but my dogs haven't even been on them, so that's how much of a hair magnet they are. I feel like these are really not great quality. They're pretty flimsy. There's nothing special about them. And from Tesla, I would honestly expect a little better quality in terms of the floor mats. They don't even have a Tesla logo on them, which I thought that they would, but they look like they could honestly be in any kind of car. So these are the floor mats that I use. They are all-weather floor mats. What I really like about them is that they cup the edges, so they go up. So if you do have dirt and it hits the side of the car instead of the floor, then it does fall then into the floor and kind of couples inside of this mat. Then you can take this out and then hit it with the hose, and it's just super convenient. I really like these, and I think that it makes the floor of our Tesla last longer. It does kind of sometimes get underneath it, and there is dirt underneath the mat sometimes, because that just happens, but overall it has made keeping our Tesla clean so much easier. So now let's talk about the interior trim. So that's going to be anything on the door here or above the steering wheel. So all of this has held up really well. I've seen in other YouTube videos about earlier Teslas that they kind of come off in some areas or that they're loose, but in mine I haven't had any issues. So I would say that these have held up great. There are no scratches on them, and I am like not the daintiest person, so I would say I open the car door pretty hard, and there aren't any scratches here. Even on the white, where I would think that maybe we would get a stain, there isn't a stain at all, and I do put my drink even down here most of the time. So I will say I'm pretty impressed with how it's held up thus far. The buttons also have held up really well on the door. They haven't faded at all, and they are still functioning the same way that they did 7 months ago. Same with the steering wheel here. Sometimes you get some erosion on the steering wheel, especially since we've been using so much hand sanitizer. I know I have, but also the steering wheel looks brand new and it's still functioning just the same. I will say that because I do have the black or the white interior and it has the black trim up here, you do see some of the dirt, which you can probably see now even. So we do have to keep that pretty clean, but it's not any different than any other car. So also this piece here is bright white, which matches the seats. But when you're driving, it sometimes does glare off and kind of hit you in the eyes with the bright sun. I wear sunglasses 24/7. You won't catch me without them. So it doesn't bother me at all, but I have taken them off before just to like take them off for a second, and it has been pretty bright. So if you're someone who doesn't like to wear sunglasses but is also affected by the sun, then maybe the white interior might not be the best choice. This is pretty good quality though, I will say. Also, same thing, no like dents, scratches, stains, anything like that. It's more of like a metal type material. I'm not sure even what to call this, but it's pretty nice, and it seems really well made. And then now moving on up to the windshield. As you can see right now, even it's super foggy. I will say the windshield fogs up quite a bit, and this is common throughout the summer especially, but this is normal for us, so we'll have to sit there, defog it, and then be on our way. But for some reason, the Tesla just seems to fog up more than any other car I've ever had. So now onto the screen. I will say the screen's held up really well. It doesn't move around. It's very fixed here. The one thing about the screen is it does get a lot of fingerprints. So I put this matte screen protector over top of it just to keep it safe, but also to hopefully reduce some of the fingerprints. I think it's done a pretty good job of doing that. I haven't had to clean it quite as much, and it does seem to like take the glare out a little bit as well. So I have enjoyed having that on here. When I first got my car, the screen would shut off randomly or just be black when I was driving, which was kind of scary, but I would restart it and then it would work again. And now I haven't had any of those problems at all, so maybe an update has fixed that. But I'm really happy it's been working perfectly now, and everything seems to be going pretty smoothly. So now let's talk about the infamous seats. So these seats have seen quite a few things now. They've been through 7 months of wear, and I don't have any stains on them. That is not to say that I haven't accidentally dropped stuff on them. My dad, I want to say the first month I had this car, accidentally spilled his coffee in my car, and so it did get on the seats, but it was really easy to wipe off, and there isn't a stain on there, thankfully. But I haven't had any problems. I mean, sometimes I do get some food or something on it. I don't like to eat in the car very often, but if we have to, I have gotten some food on it, but it does wipe off really easily, and haven't had a problem cleaning them. Just like any other car, you do get some different pieces of dirt kind of stuck in between the creases here. And I feel like I've had that happen with every single car I've ever had, so it's nothing new and it's pretty easy to clean. We have a handheld vacuum that we use that we got off Amazon. That is our favorite thing now to clean the car with, and it gets that dirt right up. I still think that they're really comfortable. They're probably my favorite seats that I've personally sat in. I know I've seen a ton of videos saying that they're not nice seats and that people really don't like them, but I love them. So I don't know what you guys think. Please let me know in the comments down below if you guys think that the Tesla seats are comfortable, but personally they've held up great. They heat up really fast, which you all know I love heated seats, and they're also super comfortable. So now onto the back seats. So we've used these more than I anticipated us using them, and that's because our dogs come back here quite a bit. So I think I showed you guys in the last video that we do now have this pet seat cover that we put over top, but we only got that recently. So a few months ago, we were just putting their car seats basically on the seat, and then they were sitting inside the car seats. So the dogs do kind of jump up a little bit on the door. They can still reach it. And these doors haven't had any scratches on them at all, which has been great. And we definitely have a ton of scratches in our truck from them, even though we do put the car seats in there too. So I'm pretty impressed by how durable these have been, especially with our dogs. And then also the seats have been really durable as well, because sometimes they'll accidentally get out and jump out onto the seat, and there haven't been any scratches or dirt or anything on these seats. They still look brand new. The Tesla Model 3 interior has held up better than I could have ever expected. I wasn't sure what to really expect with the white seats, but they have held up awesome. They're super easy to clean, and I would totally buy them again in a heartbeat. If you found this video helpful, please give me a like down below, as that really helps out my channel. Also, if you're interested in learning more about Tesla, I make videos every Tuesday and Thursday. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.